Hello, everybody, and welcome back to the Spare Bedroom Challenge recap, where every Thursday night, the Spare Bedroom Boys and their loyal social media coordinator, Nikki, recap the ultimate guilty pleasure show, MTV's The Challenge. Before we dive in, like every week, here's a 2-minute recap.
Previously on the challenge, Fessy fucked up, so Corey stepped up. Josh still tries to assert himself into everything. The female rookies hatch a plan to take out the vets. TJ gets the contestants to do a water trust fall challenge. Big T turns into a unicorn queen. Amber tries to act tough and it goes nowhere. But Big T's plan is executed perfectly and it turns out to be a vet versus vet elimination and another shakeup of teams all coming up in today's recap.
Boom. 1-minute recap. I gotta change the amount.
I was wondering why you're touching my shirt. You can see through my shirt.
Hello, everyone.
That's kind of
Tuning
cool.
in.
Let's do this.
If you're tuning in, you love the challenge. We love the challenge. I don't know if we love the episode. We'll find out right now. After the quick recap, though, let's just kind of go over some talking points. I'll start it off this week with the Fessy backlash with Corey to start the show. I think it is something we need to discuss because it's obviously going to play a part later on. So, Nikki, if you want to start, what do you think of that whole outcome there?
I mean, it was obvious. It was obvious it was going to happen. I feel like a lot of that obviously needed to be said to Fessy, but the one thing within that fight, like at first I thought it was just going to be Corey and Fessy going at it, but the thing that bothered me is all of a sudden, of course, Josh has to jump in.
Oh.
Just like has to jump in.
Hold on. I think Josh is the fucking worst, but I'm going to defend him here because Corey was directly talking about Josh to Fessy and him wanting to go in before he jumped in. His name was brought up. It wasn't Casey and CT throwing grilled cheese at each other, okay? It wasn't the same thing. So I do think Josh is a huge bitch and then salty tears, but I think that was like the first appropriate time that he stepped up, and he didn't cry, so I was super proud of him.
They might have just edited it out.
That's true. No, they wouldn't. That's MTV TV, man. They want to show Josh cry all the time.
It was hilarious how everybody was just sitting around watching. Like everybody had like lawn chairs pulled up.
CT had a blanket. He was just sitting there with a blanket, just like watching. Like
He's pretending to drink soda.
The popcorn boys.
Everybody was just waiting for it to go off, and then finally they're like working out. And they're just like, "So what's up, bro?
What's up, bro?
What's up, bro?"
Can I just say that was very underwhelming? I thought it was gonna be way more gnarly, and I thought they were gonna like be like in each other's faces, but it was just kind of like, I didn't like what you did. Yeah, I'm sorry. Well, don't do it again.
Yeah,
Okay, later. And then Josh like,
something.
comes out of nowhere, fucking
I don't
guns
think
a-blazing.
I don't think it's as lack of that. I don't think Corey is cool with Fessy at all. Corey, we'll get to it later, but Corey clearly is holding the grudge. Dane, you as Fessy's fantasy owner, what do you think of the whole interaction?
It seems like, yeah, Fessy was actually never really friends with these guys, or at least never really cared about him too much. That he was just like, nah, it's $1 million. Nelson's not that cool, so I'll take him out. Corey, he's a family man. He's a bitch. I can fight him if I need to. And if Josh comes at me, like, nobody cares.
No one cares. Casey
Nobody
cares.
cares.
That's it. Just Casey.
Definitely, I was hoping more shit would go down. That's the thing with all these vets and people who've done it for 10 years now. They know there's no fighting allowed, like not even pushing or anything. Nobody gets actually riled up to the point anymore. Like, remember when fucking people were chucking chairs at people and throwing things off balconies?
Yeah, man, shit was going down.
Those were the good times.
Now it's like a bunch of old people.
Now it's a
like,
gentleman agreement, like, oh, you're mad at me, I'm mad at you. Well, we can agree on this. Let's shake hands and...
Yeah.
I'd like to see if like security actually let Josh just run amok one day. Like,
I don't think he'd do anything.
What kind of like stupid like shit he'd like destroy, like you're like who he'd like fuck up kind of thing. Cause like
Only property. I don't think he would touch another human being.
I don't know. I think it'd be kind of funny just if the security's like, let's just see what he does. That'd be kind of funny. And then like he just like goes like full like like fucking beats the fuck out of Devin to like to the point of him having like a bloody pulp of a face.
In reality, he'd like be like, forcing the security guards to like hold him back. Like he'd be like,
Yeah.
"What? Look, the security's holding me back, bro. Security's holding me back, bro."
Why aren't you holding me?
Security's
Why aren't
like
you holding
trying
me?
to walk out of the way and
Why aren't
like.
you holding me?
Fuck, man, he's gonna ask me another math question. Hold me back, man. Please, please don't do this to me.
So yeah, we start off the show. Fessy loses his alliance. We'll see how that plays out. The next scene of the show, Big T, slept on Big T, is hatching a plan with the rookies, and they're gonna target some vets. Eric, why don't you start us off? What are your thoughts of BT's little play there?
Sorry about what? Big T's.
Big T
Scheming.
scheming with the rookies to get out. You can finish.
Yeah, she's scheming to get the big dogs out. Yeah, I think it's good. I think this is like one of the few seasons where the rookies are actually like doing something, not just fucking floating around, fucking everybody, and just doing. I mean, that's the thing. And maybe they're not allowed to have sex with other people
So they're trying
this
to win.
season. So they're actually like they have like their mindset like, hey, now I can't fuck him, so I'm just gonna like focus on the game, like because legally, because I think they're like legally not allowed to like fuck each other this season because of COVID.
That's
So, like,
also too. Like half of them are now 30, almost like 40 years old, and have families where they're like.
yeah, it's like well, it's
Except
like half the guys I
CT.
want to fuck, I can't fuck, and I'm not gonna fuck Devin. Like
Like
look at him.
Big T wants to fuck CT.
Oh yeah.
Nikki, what did you think of Big T's plot there? And Big T in general, I think, deserves a little discussion because I think she is slept on.
And isn't this your whole team plotting? Like they're all girls.
Yeah, this is a huge part of
Yeah,
you
I loved
succeeding.
it, obviously. I was like, yes, rookies, come together. Destroy the old ones. So I loved it. I have a new appreciation for Big T. Like 100%.
This was
I
definitely her
personally-
coming out.
Episode.
Yes, and I actually think her and CT's relationship and them together is probably my favorite team, and they're just dynamic and working well together. But yeah, Big T going along with the rookies and everything and all of them scheming together, it all worked out for her. I got big expectations for her now.
I think, Eric, you were talking shit on her cutting her foot and going home, but that season, dog, I thought she was making some of the most politically smart moves in the entire game. I think she is very smart. I don't think she's going to win physical challenges. I think she probably needs a puzzle or like an endurance or something.
Or she needs CT
Or
to actually
CT
do
to
all
hold
the
her.
work.
Yeah.
She
Yeah.
literally needs CT to carry her.
But I think she is the most underrated political game over the last 2 years, and I think it's starting to show a little bit. Dane, any thoughts on that?
She's not a rookie. It's like she's been in this like 3 times, but it's like
Is this her third season or
Yeah,
second?
I think
third.
so, but she's been
Third.
like out due to other circumstances like every time. I don't even think she's been like voted out actually. I can't remember. But I know she hurt herself the one time. So she knows how to play. What is she from even? Big Brother or something UK?
No, Buddy was telling me it was Shipwrecked.
oh, so
Whatever the
like
fuck that is.
a romance show.
Is it? Yeah.
She's definitely funny. It's glad that she's rounding up these rookies. Again, she's not a rookie, so she has that power to at least be like, I'm not a fully vet. She's in that in between, so she still has some friends with vets, and
I agree.
she can be that rookie shepherd or
Yeah,
whatever.
she's like stuck in limbo.
And I think she's playing that super smart.
Yes.
I think I agree with you, Dane, where she is not considered vet enough because she hasn't gone very far
Exactly.
to be like a vet. People still talk shit on her like a layup, but she knows the game well enough that she can fucking build her next future. She's like the female version of like the Nelson and like Corey and Hunter alliance, where I bet you these girls follow her into future seasons.
Well, and we'll definitely get to her social game later when she goes off and actually comes out of her shell more and
Yeah.
turns into the queen. But yeah,
One
it's
other-
good that the rookies are scheming
Yeah. No.
and at
for-
least showed the rookies.
Yeah, we saw well, except I don't think I've seen Leo rest for about 6 episodes.
No,
or Michi.
no,
But
not at all.
the dudes are still kicking somewhere, and we're waiting for some sexy stuff from them. We'll move on from there. So right before the weekly challenge, we'll get to that in a second. But right before, I'll lead off on this one. 2 things happen. They're standing there on the fucking mountain or whatever, and someone is declassified. The strongest rookie by far.
Lolo.
Natalie's going home. Why? Eric, do you know why?
So what?
Stay off your phone. Natalie is going home. Why is Natalie going home?
Oh, why is Natalie going home? Yeah, so Natalie is compromised. Is that that's what he calls them this season?
Yeah, can we talk about all these agent terms too?
Yeah,
Like,
declassified.
Declassified, compromised.
There's a secret breach.
Yes, it was
double
a security
agent,
breach. So Natalie's declassified. She's no longer an agent. Yes, I do agree. And that can be like a whole episode of us just shitting on the double agent terms that are coming through.
Right from the beginning, I said this was a dumb, hokey. Like I hate when shows do that when they like have like little like themes like superheroes or or secret agents or fucking whatever or camp whatever.
But does anyone know the real reason she went home?
I know why. I looked it up.
Okay,
Yeah.
what is it?
Natalie found out she was pregnant.
Oh.
She found out she was pregnant and she was not allowed to be on the challenge anymore. So I think she went home and she beat the fuck out of her boyfriend for dumping one inside of her.
Hold on, again, you're gonna say no. What happened was, so she better not be pregnant. You can't say no.
No, the thing was sorry to dampen the mood here. She was pregnant, but she had a miscarriage.
Ooh.
Like on the show or after the show?
I think it was on the show, and that's why she wasn't able to go.
No, there's no way they'd allow her to be pregnant on the show.
No, she came out. I was reading on Reddit. I didn't hear that, but I did see on Reddit that she came out and said they test for like everything except for pregnancy.
Oh.
And that's like how fucking what's her face was pregnant last year.
Oh,
she's
Maddie
pregnant.
or whatever.
And I guess Liv was pregnant too.
Olivia? Olivia?
Yeah.
Oh.
So
right.
the broad.
Well, she was mine. Like I didn't want.
She's call her.
She's like that. She's like that child that you don't want. She's like she's like how I am to my parents. Like,
as little
I'm
sex
theirs.
as they've been having on the challenge, we know the girl's been fucking because they've been pregnant apparently. So Natalie's declassified, which is a huge. We'll talk about later in fantasy, which is a huge fucking bummer for one of us.
That's you.
So I just said we'll talk about it later on fantasy.
All right.
But yes, I did. So she's declassified. All of a sudden, we're losing all these girls. We lose what's her name, Nicole. We lose Liv. We lose Natalie. All from injuries or semen, apparently.
Can I say I'm not mad that any of them are gone?
Yeah, all three of those girls I don't really give two shits about.
I'm upset
one of them belonged to me.
Don't care.
I'm upset one of them's gone. I thought she would have went far, but so we lose her, and then so what do they call it? There's a security breach. Dan, tell us about security breach.
that one? Oh, sorry. So go ahead.
Security breach. Yeah, since 3 girls have shit the bed and got kicked off, they're like, "Okay, we can't only be having guys eliminations week after week." So they bring somebody back, roll in the RV. Everybody's like, "Who is it? Who is it?" And I just see CT being like, "I don't know. There's tinted windows." And I was just like, "That's good, CT."
But you're asking like CT because the oldest guy.
CT, who is it?
The guy who wears glasses.
He's like, "Oh no, it's fucking tinted windows."
It's a vehicle.
Guess who's back?
400
back,
meters away.
Back again.
It's the millionaire
Ashley's back.
Millionaire Mitchell.
Don't tell your
What's
friends.
her name?
Ashley Millionaire Mitchell is back in the fold. The first person
Is that her
eliminated.
nickname?
Yeah.
Well, that's what he called her on the show. That's what TJ called her. You respect TJ's.
I guess so, but that's such a limp ass. I'm guaranteed.
She's the only person in the history of the challenge who won $1 million on the show. The only person. No one has ever won $1 million by themselves. It is only Ashley Mitchell. That's why he called her that.
Yeah, I guess it makes sense. Yeah, because I guess no one else is just like one by themselves.
Or, like,
Because if
split
they
on
had
the
to split it like
team,
4
yeah.
ways, yeah.
Yeah.
And that's why Darrell's always pissed off. He's like, "I'm a 4-time champ and I've won like 20 grand combined." Like, the show was shit back
Well,
then.
because it's gotten better over the years,
Yeah.
yeah. But like, yeah, and then because she fucked over Hunter and won $1 million.
Yeah.
Oh,
Oh, that was a tough
imagine
season.
being fucking that guy, man. But he was also a shit.
He's kind of a bitch,
He was a
too.
piece of shit.
So yeah,
But-
Ashley's back. She was gone in the first challenge. She's now replacing Natalie, so she's on Corey's team. They used to be together on a team like 5 seasons ago, I remember. So they work well together.
Corey and Ashley?
And Ashley's always fun. She has good confessionals. She's funny.
She was part of that weird group, whatever, the Lavender Ladies.
I don't know their names.
Yeah, the Lavender Ladies. I just
The Holy,
binged around the
all I
fourth
know is
season.
for the girls. All I know is the Holy Trinity because
Yeah.
I would wreck all of those girls.
But Nikki, real thoughts on Natalie leaving and Ashley being back. I know you're a Natalie fan.
I was sad with Natalie because like genuinely I feel like she's somebody that could go all the way to the end. So that sucked. But I mean, it helped me when it came to the fantasy draft. And then with Ashley coming back, I mean, yeah, I'm excited. I think the one person that's going to be the most excited would be Brock. Really.
Who?
Shout out to Brock.
Well, that's on the fantasy stuff. I'm excited because Ashley is a motherfucking shit disturber. I think Ashley is going to bring some new drama to this show that we were missing from the ladies. I don't think there's a ton of drama ladies on the show. Dana, thoughts on them coming back before we move on?
Nah, Ashley's not drama-y anymore. She's a little bit of a
She
shit
quit
disturber.
last season on the first day.
Yeah.
She quit?
On the first day, yes.
They
she went
lost her
home.
luggage.
They lost her luggage and she quit. Like, she's still drama.
Is that what happened last season?
Yeah. Day one.
The
The
one that we
bunker.
watched?
The bunker.
I don't remember that. I remember that was like the first season I watched.
Literally.
It was the first episode.
It's probably like early because that was like my first season that I watched. I probably just like didn't give a shit.
Yeah.
They lost her luggage so she quit.
Yes. Day one. Before this episode ended, she went home.
When-
Eric, moving on though. So right before the challenge, Natalie's gone, Ashley's in, and then we have the weekly challenge. Eric, let's tee it up to you. This week's challenge, what's up?
As Dane called it, the water trust's fall. Is that what they actually called it? Or is that just what
No.
it's called? Oh. Yeah. So basically, you have your partner. You're on a fucking huge cliff. Like the girls are freaked out. The guys are freaked out. Darrell's not having it. Teresa's not having it. Big T is fucked. Lots of people just like aren't into it. Basically, the guy pulls the rope, and then once you pull like 200
meters.
200 meters of rope, it comes this blue chunk of rope. And then you grab onto your partner and you guys like hold hands. And then at a certain point, I can't remember how many minutes, probably like 5-10 minutes or whatever, the girls are hanging off the edge. The fucking bottom will like drop, so then the girls are just dangling off the edge, and then the guys have to hold up the girls. And then they have to hang from the ledge and then hold on tight, and then whoever holds on the longest wins, basically. And then it came down to, for the first, whatever you call it, the first round, it was Jay and Teresa. And then the second round, it was Big T and CT that held on the longest. And can I say who won?
Yeah, go on. The winner of the challenge was who?
And then it came down to it. It was all dramatic, and fucking Big T and CT, my boy, won by 5 seconds. Even though Jay's my boy too, he's on my he's on my squad. But I'm cheering for beat CT over Jay any day. But yeah, CT and Big T won. Big T was being a fucking little boss ass bitch about it.
Yeah, let's talk about the challenge now. Yeah, so CT and Big T pulled this one off. Let's start with the winners. Let's talk about them first. One of the things is a nomination for later, but Big T was fucking terrified.
Her
Like,
angry face.
Oh man.
We'll talk about that later.
Well,
that's going to be a nomination
that was
for
my-
sure.
I know.
Yeah,
I want to talk about it now.
I think that one might sweep. But CT, basically, it comes down to CT and Big T versus Jay and who's Jay's partner again? Oh, Teresa.
Mother Teresa.
Comes down to that. So CT wins his first challenge of the season. The old dog,
Not
new
his
tricks.
last either.
Yeah, the old dog, new tricks. Eric, you started off CT and Big T's performance in that challenge.
It was fucking hilarious because Big T or CT kept yelling at her, "Show me your angry face," and she'd be like, "It was just like, it was like a pug." Like growling at you. It was weird. It was like she was like because there was tears in her eyes and CT was like making her growl like a dog and she was like
Okay, so before we continue, I think let's skip to that award because I think we all want to talk about it and it's gonna be a whole discussion.
I mean, we can just run through it really quickly at the awards, but yeah.
Well, let's just do this one real fast. Lull of the night. Eric, would that be your nomination?
when CT made Big T go angry face while she was crying is what I wrote.
I wrote.
Because her fucking face is so devastated. She's trying to be
She's
angry.
fucking terrified. Yeah, I wrote Big T's mean face and CT doing like a little growl of "Let's go."
Yeah.
Your nomination for Lol?
Yeah, for doing it's obviously unanimous. It's the only funny part. It was hilarious.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was untouchable. And Nikki, do you have a different one to offer up?
Nope, I have a mean face with big teeth.
Yeah, it was undeniable, and it was a big part of this part of the conversation. Your lull of the night, boom, is Big T's mean face.
And when they were leaving, and he got Big T to do it to TJ. He's like, "Show me mean face." He's like, "Ugh," and he just showed TJ just like, had this like really unimpressed look on his face.
It's an early award for the viewers there. Anyone else want to say anything about CT and Big T's win before we talk about a few other people in the challenge itself?
I thought it was like great. Again, I feel like they're such a good team with each other.
Because it's such like a fucking legend with such a pokey contestant kind of thing. I don't know. It's just kind of like, I don't know. It's kind of
Mesh really
funny.
well. They balance each other out.
But I don't think CT would have balanced out 2 years ago with her. I think CT got thrown down the very first week, and he's just kind of taken that lesson on the chin, and he's changed his motivation. Who was he paired with a couple seasons ago in like the enemies one? That chick who he was just growling at to work out the whole time, and finally they were in the redemption house, and he's like, I gotta change my mind. I can't remember her name either, but CT isn't always the easiest dog to work with. He gets upset.
You can't teach old dogs new tricks.
And I think he's proven it wrong. Anything on CT before moving on?
Not on CT. He did good. He had to carry Big T, which was meh. The challenge itself was a great challenge. It was funny that Devin didn't care and just didn't even try to pull the rope and just let Tori
Just
fall.
let her fall.
Yeah.
He probably saw the blue part. Was like,
Oh, yeah.
slow down.
I think there's only like 2 or 3 people that didn't actually get the rope, and he was one of them. Josh trying to bargain with CT at the end too, and he's like, "No, you drop the rope. You drop the rope." And CT was just like, "You drop the rope," and Josh was like, "You just see him immediately." He's just like, "Okay, I'll do what CT tells me."
Yeah.
What's
CT's in
it?
charge.
Corey didn't even get to the blue part.
No.
Oh yeah,
Corey really bitched out.
Yeah,
Corey
I was
bitched out.
Corey's kind of a little
He
wimp.
killed it on it though.
JB in a rock
Who?
climb, right?
Well, yeah, Jay.
Oh yeah,
agreed.
Jay
Jay's
did.
a motherfucking beast.
Yeah.
It was Jay versus Nam in like Heat 1, and Jay had the form, had everything. You could tell he could
Yeah,
go
one
forever.
leg is out and everything.
Yeah, he was like stretching during it.
I feel like Jay, and not only just on the challenge, but I feel like Jay, as long as it's not like head-to-head physical, can go very far. I think he holds
He's beat CT before.
I think he holds a dope
Yes,
type
he did.
of athleticism.
That was the first challenge I seen.
Well, the
CT
only
in.
thing he lost was like either one of those ring pulls or a hall brawl. I can't remember.
No,
what
he lost it. It was the flaming ball where he had to, like
Yeah,
rush against.
Rogan
It was against Rogan.
Yeah, he got
Rogan,
knocked the
Rogan
fuck out.
fucking mangled
He
him.
got
That was
knocked
D's
out.
fault.
Yeah, he
Or,
got-
Who?
D.
Yeah, no, we're not. No, we're not talking about it.
We're not talking about her.
I can't.
No, we're
But I
not
think
talking
We here at MTV do not condone.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I think the challenge was way better than last week's and actually entertaining a little bit.
Yeah.
What was last week's? That was
and-
it was really lame.
The drone one.
Is it
We don't.
drone?
Oh right.
The only other thing to mention from the challenge, I think, unless you guys have one other thing, is just how funny it is how terrified Durrell is of heights.
Yeah, well, he's like shock or like height shock.
Height shock.
It's a real thing.
Google it.
Can we also talk? Since we're on the topic of that, can we talk about how like Big T was just acting like fucking such a boss? Like when during like when they were all drinking and stuff.
Well,
and
we'll
each
get
other.
there. Yeah.
Oh
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah,
Okay.
Yeah, we're just talking about the challenge right now. But
Okay.
that is our next subject. So Eric, lead it off. Big T has her victory
Yes.
party.
Like, if I was like a girl on that show, I'd be kind of pissed. Just like this stupid broad.
But
Like,
explain what happened.
so they had like a night out. They were in a fucking bubble.
Then they go to the bubble.
They're not allowed to touch
when
each
they went
other.
outside.
So they get drunk in a bubble basically, and then Big T was just in her glory because she's never fucking won anything really. And then she had all these diamonds on her face, and she had her fucking pink wig on, and she had her little VIP section, and they were like pouring her champagne. She's like, "What wine is that? Oh yes, come on." And like she was just acting like a little like like a little princess kind of thing, and it was kind of funny. But also, I was being Dana, were kind of like, why is it? It was like CT did the whole thing. Just let her have her moment, you know, like just like let her do her thing. Even though CT like, was literally the one that held her up fucking to her death.
Nikki, your thoughts on Queen T at the bubble?
I'm all about it. I was like, I loved it. I was rooting for her. I was all about it. I was feeling her vibe. I was riding her vibe. I wish I could have been there. That's like, she killed it.
Dane,
I wanna ride your vibe.
Any additional?
Yeah, Queen T was off, getting people to kiss her hand. It was funny. She's living in the moment. That's why she's on the challenge. She's entertaining. That's why she gets the confessionals and the screen time. But again, it was like, CT did everything. I mean, it's only because they preemptively know it's a girl's elimination, so they know that she, as the girl, has the power, basically, because it's basically... When they're in their pairs, it's still, hey, the guy has the say during that week. The girl has the say during that week. Like, if she wanted to go into the elimination, she could. She has that power. That's why she's the queen or whatever. But it's still funny. Again, though, I still want to see the drama. It leads into some Amber drama, but
Yeah.
it's not quite the same when they used to go to a club and get super fucking
Oh, it's
hammered.
definitely
and
not
they
the
like
same.
make it out in the corner and like fingering each other and stuff. I
It's
missed
definitely not the same. But as far as I'm concerned, the reason I said earlier that people sleep on Big T's political game is she is one of very few people who can hold her own coronation with her own VIP section, and people eat it up like it's fun.
It's true. Nobody was pissed off.
Not a person was pissed off about VIP fucking Queen T. No one. And she can do that. And I think her political game, now she's fucking herself because she still has to get Golden Skull, but that's a strategy thing. But as far as the political game, there's no one who can do that at all. And
get away with it.
get away with it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Imagine if Wes tried to have a coronation. Imagine if Wes tried to have a coronation. Would you find it like kind of cute?
Yeah,
No.
I feel like she was probably the only one person that could get away with being such a fucking little priss and like, but like
Yeah,
in a
it
funny
comes
way.
off. Yeah, it comes off fun and lighthearted, and I think it was really smart. And when they were pouring the champagne, I think it was Leroy who came up, and he was like, "Some wine for you," and she was like, "What kind is it?" And he's like, "Whatever your favorite kind is," and she was like, "That'll do."
No, I think it was Michi that did that.
Was
It
it
doesn't
Michi?
matter, but yeah, I thought that part was funny.
I thought it
That
was-
seemed also just rubbed me the wrong way, just because I know Leroy's like a bartender in Vegas, and like
Is he?
yeah, like he's always like been like, yeah, I'm a bartender in Vegas, but he poured it like with his hand open, holding the neck like into it, and I was like,
I think he was trying to
I
be
was like-
fancy.
I was like,
I don't know if that was.
But you're
I don't
supposed
think
to
that-
do
I
it
don't think that was
over
Leroy
here.
that
I
did
know,
that.
I
over
think
your
he's trying to be
foot.
proper.
as a bartender in Vegas, you should know how to do
Yeah,
bottle
but he
service.
might be at a club and he might just be like, "What do you want? 2 shots?" And he's just like, like he
Yeah,
might just have
maybe
the speed.
maybe
ever.
by a bartender in Vegas, like he works at one of those like dingy little shit bars like on the strip somewhere. Like,
Somebody who's been a server myself, and that just I was like,
Me too. I've been a bartender,
And I
and
was
it was
like, Leroy,
definitely very awkward pour.
Alright, we get off track.
I
What
did
the
not
fuck are we
know.
even
I did
talking
not.
about
Well,
anymore?
it's still
it
the
pissed
same.
me off.
But I did not know Leroy was a bartender, so that's fair. But like you had rolled into, so why don't you introduce it? Amber M decided to talk, and it hurt my ears. But go ahead.
So everybody's got their alcohol flowing. Tori's trying to save her ass, knowing that she's up for elimination, so kind of going around. But I guess Amber goes up to her, and I guess, Nikki, I don't know, you can speak as a female. Is it just really rude to call a girl small?
Yeah, I was literally gonna touch on that. Like, I'm that
Okay.
person. Like, I'm
Because I was
I'm
like, girls do
offended,
not
I'm
like being called
triggered.
Oh,
small.
I hate it apparently.
Like, that was like the whole argument. It's not like, hey, we're rookies, we're weak or anything. It's,
because
everybody's like,
because
don't call me
it's-
small. I'm
So
not
you
small.
can't call a girl.
I'm huge.
So you can't
Don't
call a girl
me
small, but you can't call her. You can't call a girl
massive.
big. So what do you got to call her? You medium.
Perfect. She's perfect.
You're perfect. All girls are perfect.
All right, let Nikki talk.
It's the same. It's the same concept. If you were like you're small, like you seem like weak. Is the same like if I went to someone who is bigger, I was like you're a bigger person, like you're big. It's like or fat, so to speak. Like it still hits the same way. And so I'm
Hold on.
somebody.
Did you just compare being petite to being fat hitting the same way as a non-obese
Like
person?
how
So
people-
you're canceled. Shut her camera off.
Cancelled.
Canceled.
So
Oh, you're
we'll have a
so small and
discussion on
proper.
we'll have a discussion about this in our therapy session, Ryan. But
I'm not going to therapy with you. You're canceled. You're bad for my image. I will say this on it. I thought Amber M came off hella small in her reaction. I think she came off as like a scared little bitch, like in that interaction. You know when people talk tough just to talk tough, and they're backed into a corner, or like someone bigger than them is talking to them. You know the guys the guys who were bullies and they were real small, and then someone big stepped up to them and they're like, "Oh, I'll beat your ass." Like that energy. Amber M gave me that energy in that conversation. I don't think it hit at all. I don't think she's gonna last. I think that girl is definitely eliminated before the final. Not a chance she makes it because she is playing a scared game, even in just general conversations when she's not going in. And last week when she almost went up, she played like a scared conversation game. And I think I'm assuming, unless it's like a puzzle or who's the lightest on a trampoline, like she's just not gonna go far in the game. Anyone thoughts on Amber M stepping up to Tori there, being offended?
I was gonna save it for another segment, but yeah, I just thought she was just trying to be a bitch, but it just kind of came off cute. So yeah, I didn't find it like really intimidating. It was more just like kind of like when your little sister gets mad at you for.
You think that's cute when your little sister gets mad at
hate
you?
it.
No, I just thought it was like kind of like, oh, it's kind of stop
watch
it.
too much
Yeah,
porn,
stop it.
Eric.
You're adorable. I love that you're adorable situation. I'm gonna let Nikki have last word, so Dane, you go first. Any thoughts on Amber M there?
I'll agree with Eric. I was like, oh, Amber, you're looking kind of cute right now.
Yeah.
I don't know. I guess that's just me being probably more condescending.
Now we're all canceled.
But, hey, you know, I've had half a liter of beer in me right now, so.
Nikki, I'll let you finish as another cute petite female. How do you think she fared in that conversation?
I'm just saddened by it because obviously she's on my team. I care about Nikki's Angels. And I feel like the elimination speaks for itself in that conversation. So, want to call someone petite and they can't do it?
Well, she didn't do it, for the record.
Took a while to do it though.
No. She didn't. Amber didn't do anything. My question to you is, how did Amber come off in that conversation? Not where did Tori end up?
Like, I think she came off, she was hurt. I don't know. I guess because I understand that hurt and how sometimes it can be frustrating when someone underestimates you because of your size.
We're going to move on. So we're in the vote. Let's regroup. We're in the vote, Nikki. Big T in a rookie plan comes through. Who speaks up? Anissa says something. Amber says something. Gabby says something. Tori says something. I think those are the four that spoke.
There wasn't much talking, yeah.
No.
I think I was cooking some noodles at that point, so I wasn't really paying attention. But it was in the back, I could hear it going on.
Yeah, Gabby and then Anisha spoke up. Like, against that, it goes back to being like going against people's sizes and underestimating them and not.
So I'm gonna let you lead because I let you finish the last one. How do you think that talk went? Amber talks, Gabby talks, Anissa talks, Tori talks.
I honestly think it went, I think it really went nowhere. And then I think Tori just, like, kept on talking when she didn't need to.
Eric?
Oh, yeah, like I said, I think I was cooking some noodles at the time, but, like, yeah, I don't think it really, yeah, I don't know.
Dane? I've got 6 thoughts on this. I have an opinion, so...
Okay.
Then go.
Yeah,
Okay,
my opinion is Anissa is always like terrified of going in, even though she wins a lot. And she kind of spoke from like a place of panic. Anyone who knows they're going in speaks from a place of panic every single week. That's what happens. Gabby starts the talking, which surprised me a lot. She said,
"Who are you?"
Yeah, she said, I wrote
Which one are you?
I wrote a specific thing about Gabby. I wrote, Gabby says yes way too much. She's like, so yes, yes. So I feel sometimes yes. So she said yes a bunch of times. Anissa got kind of defending herself, and then stupid fucking Amber M spoke, and it honestly took me over. I'm officially my least favorite person left on the show is Amber M. by far. Can't stand her. She opened her mouth 2 to 3 times this episode, bragged a couple times. I understand that Tori spoke from a place of like defense, and she just kept talking, trying to get herself out of it. But I also think what Tori said originally is like, no, you haven't proven shit. No one knows who you are. This is how all the challenges have ever worked, is rookies, we don't know what you're made of, so you're considered weak if you're small and a rookie, because we've never seen you do anything. I think that's a fair point. I think that's been the challenge for the last 15 years. I think that's a regular part of the show. I think Amber M trying to puff up her chest made her look weak as fuck. But we all knew where the vote was going. Anyone else have an opinion on that before we talk about the vote itself?
I'm just glad rookies are stepping up for himself. Like, yeah, they know how the game goes. That doesn't mean they have to follow in line and just be
I agree.
cattle for the fucking slaughter.
I agree 100%. I just don't think that anything offensive was really said besides that you aren't the biggest competitor and you're a rookie.
Yeah. But they still stood up.
They are standing up for themselves big time this year. So the vote happens, and we know it is the Big T plan's going into action. It's Aneesa. Aneesa is going in from the vote.
Just a bit.
Aneesa's going in from the vote. Any highlights from the vote itself or from the CT and Big T in the room? Not really.
Not really. I'm glad Big T's plan is going foolproof as it seems. CT's backing her up while wrangling her in. One thing that did surprise me was Cam voted Aneesa and Leroy, but I guess that's just the confidence knowing that it's a girls' elimination and then Leroy may get a new partner. So I guess that is actually almost a good vote from Cam.
Yeah.
Where she's like, Aneesa's dead weight. Let's get Leroy away from that.
Well, one thing that surprised me and goes back to the start of the show is what we were talking about, and as we'll talk about that later, is who does Corey vote for? Corey votes for Fessy. Corey and Fessy's friendship is over. Like,
Yeah.
like there was no agreement, gentleman's agreement. It was a straight throwaway vote, but he was still like, "Fuck you."
Again, I hate that though, because it's like this is a secret vote where Fessy's gonna have to watch the TV show and watch the edit, and hopefully my vote gets put in the edit where he sees me vote for him, where it is just a burn vote. When rather it's like, help Aneesa out, help somebody out. Like,
yeah, but anyone can
don't
tell.
just be like,
I agree.
I'm doing this because I hate Fessy.
I
while
agree
look
with
into
the
the
burn
camera.
vote. I agree with the burn vote, but someone actually no, they wouldn't be able to tell them because they only show who voted for the proper person. So the vote is in. It's Aneesa, and this is where we're gonna swing it to Nikki. Nikki, it's elimination challenge time. We know Aneesa's going in. Take it from there. Oh, is she frozen? Did we lose her right at her moment?
I think she just like didn't want to answer the question.
Did we lose
Wait,
her?
there she is.
She's like, I don't want to answer this question. I'm
Yeah,
just
she's
gonna
like,
sit perfectly still.
Anyways, yes, Aneesa's going in. It's asset destruction.
Oh, she
And
Googled it.
then you have Big T and CT. They get to make the vote, and they go with Tori and Devin, which I thought was a smart move on their part, but we'll get into that.
Mhm.
And then basically Aneesa and Tori, as everyone knows, they're best friends, so this is going to be a tough one. So they go in there and they do the challenge. So the players basically pull a crate full of bombs across the crater before tipping the crate over, and then they enter release the bombs. Aneesa kills it right away. Tori takes a little bit to stop. Then they grab the balls, and then they have to throw the bombs to a wall. Targets, only 13 of the 25 are breakable, and the remaining 12 are solid. The first one to get all 13 through wins the challenge.
Yeah,
Yep.
so who wins?
And so then we have Aneesa that wins. She had a very good head start. And then Tori finally, they're pushing and pushing and pushing. Gets a little bit ahead, but then Aneesa just comes back.
Yeah.
Yeah, so
What, do you guys think if she wouldn't have like fucked up and like they would have their balls would have fell at the same time? Then
Tori wins undeniable.
Tori would
Not
have
even
won.
close.
Yeah. I think Aneesa was lucked out there pretty good.
Yeah, and
The fact that Tori fucked up.
She was up 10-0 on 13 breakthroughs. It was 10-0 before Tori
Nice.
knocked over her crate.
And then it was 13-10, I think it ended up.
Yeah.
Ooh, yeah, Tori's a fucking hog, man.
Yeah.
She would have fucking ran through that shit hard.
So the elimination happens. I know she gets shit on in this team as well, but Anissa pulls out her 10th elimination victory. 10 times she's won an elimination challenge.
10.
Fucking 10.
A 10! A fucking 10!
But yeah, the challenge itself, I thought that was kind of a cool challenge.
I've never seen that one before.
I had a little issue with. I know that they test them all beforehand, right? But
Yeah, they have to.
I
Yeah, no, they just throw people off cliffs like
Yeah.
that, fucking willy-nilly.
But-
Hopefully this works.
But like they test to know that they're doable. What I feel like kind of happened to Tori there is either one, she didn't hit like the stop fast enough
yeah,
that it would tip,
that's exactly what happened.
and also these balls are like almost like medicine balls,
That's what
and
they
they're
are.
just they're just thrown in there, so you can get all sorts of like weird weight distribution, like squishing things happen where some can not be squished down and some can be just by how they're tossed into the bin. So I wrote down here, ball distribution theory. I think Tori's bucket was kind of fucked.
I think that may be a theory too. I was thinking about that. I was like, if the weight's too bottom heavy, I think, or if the weight's too like bottom or top heavy, it would cause it to be harder to pull. But again, I think she's shorter. She doesn't have the higher leverage and stuff, and I think she just was at a disadvantage in that way. But then there might have been a weird weight distribution thing, which made it harder. But again, Anissa was just beasted that. And
Yeah,
was
she's
like,
a huge.
like, I think it may be exaggerated, like as always with editing, like how long the challenge was and how long she actually was struggling. Like it may have only been like a 30-second thing, but it seemed like it took like 5 minutes where
Yeah.
she was struggling with this thing.
Literally, all she had to do was just like push it back and then fucking give it a good yank again. But
But
I think in the heat of the moment, she didn't figure that out.
There's a moment too where she's just, the best is where she's just like looking at TJ and she's like, "It's not possible."
Yeah.
And TJ, you just see him in his coat, just like arms crossed, just like, that's too bad.
Too bad.
Well, see you next season.
Yeah, we'll see you soon. What did you guys think, Eric? What did you think of the elimination itself?
Like the challenge?
Yeah, the challenge itself, the elimination challenge itself.
Yeah, I feel like it was kind of like there also is fucking technical bullshit that might have gone wrong.
Everything's cut weird.
But I also think fucking Anissa is a goddamn beast, and she fucking just roared that thing, and it fucking fell over, and then Tori was just kind of in denial. And like, yeah, editing is another factor. There's a lot of different factors. The fact is, Anissa won, and that's
Anissa
that.
I was
Anissa-
surprised.
And Anissa is a fucking like beast, and so is Tori. So it's kind of like Battle of the Beasts, I guess. It's like putting up a
I was
what's that, like the Beast Wars.
Oh,
You know
yeah.
the show. It's like
100%.
Optimus Prime versus what was the dinosaur? Megatron.
for
What was his name?
Yeah, Megatron.
Meg-
No, in Beast Wars, what was the Megatron?
oh,
No, it was Megatron and Optimo Prime.
Doesn't matter.
I don't
Go
know.
continue.
Like Primal.
I agree. I think the
Two
rookies.
beasts.
I think Big T's plan
Battle of the
put
Titans.
two fucking beasts together in a physical challenge. Like I'm gonna shit on her real quick again, but Amber M would have never tipped that thing ever.
Oh.
Period. Not a chance. She's too short, and the leverage. Like Tori is much stronger than Amber M. Anissa.
It was all. It's momentum, man. It's momentum.
Well,
You
it's
should've
still
pushed it
still
back
being able to
and
pull like
shoot.
400 pounds too. Like it's still
Set
there's
it up for
strength
me.
to
Set
it.
it up for me. We're gonna. Do you want a challenge?
Yeah, but
Set it up. See if I can do it.
no one has calves like you, Nick.
Here's a question: Who other than Tori do you think could have even competed against Anissa in that
Lolo.
competition?
Lolo,
You
Low?
think Lolo?
Natalie before she got kicked
Lower,
off.
like the high medicine, like because it was like a big wall, like you had to go higher or lower and
Yeah,
stuff. And, like
Natalie
the
would've-
higher ones,
yeah,
like they had to
like-
go like underhand over the head, but Lolo could have just like
Yeah,
overhand
just shot
throw,
with them.
like,
She's
just
like,
like, just-
Hadouken! Yeah, I think at the end of the day, so Anissa wins. Let's go on. So we have to have some new teams here.
I will say too, it worked out absolute best case scenario for Big T because she's the one who put Tori in rather than Anissa being the house vote. And so Anissa can't come directly back at like Big T and be like, "Fuck you, bitch."
I think she will.
Like she has to be like, "Fuck you, house, who voted for me," and that's a much bigger fight.
Yeah, oh, definitely, 100%. I do think that all worked out perfect. Big T's plan was fucking magnificent. Yeah. Cheers to her plan. Magnificent plan.
So yeah, new teams.
So new teams. So Anissa wins. So she gets to ditch Leroy or keep Leroy or take Devin or pick someone else. Anissa, I
saw
don't
it
know.
coming. I saw it coming.
Did you? I don't know.
I did not see that
I
coming,
didn't
man.
see it coming either.
I thought she was kind of done with him.
So we'll start with Dan. No, you saw it coming. You go last. Nikki, Anissa picks who, and how did you feel about it? And did you see it coming?
I did not see it coming at all. I'm like confused by it.
Who'd she
like
pick?
Fessie's on the chopping block.
She picked Fessy.
She picked Fessy. You gotta lead with who she picked.
Pardon?
You have to lead with who she picked.
Who did she pick?
I spooned. I was like, "Hey, who'd she pick?" And you're like, "I didn't see it."
You said Fessie.
No, we didn't.
Just tell me like I don't know what's going on.
This is all cut.
There's
Don't
no
worry.
cut. Go ahead. Restart. You're gonna start
Restart.
from here. The edit starts here.
Okay.
Okay, so Anisha wins it. She can either pick or keep her partner, and then she ends up going with Fessie.
Ah,
Big boy.
big boy. How'd
like-
you feel about it?
I did not. I don't know how to feel about it. I think that it was not the smartest move, considering probably next week will be a men's elimination, and Fessie is on the chopping block.
Ooh.
You think so?
It's an interesting take. I think the house hates him. That's an interesting thing. Eric, what do you think of Anissa's pick there?
I think it's like you know how you hear about abusive relationships where like the girls will keep coming back to these fucking guys that treat her like shit. And you're like, why are you doing this? It's like, well, like, I just love him. Like, I just can't not go back to him. But now I'm thinking, like, maybe Anissa's doing this so she can fuck Fessy over. Now she's his partner. And now next week she's
gonna
gonna guys
pull it down.
elimination, so she can, like, just, like, throw a challenge. She can just, like, literally get... If it's, like, it's like it's like a physical elimination challenge. She can just, like, keep falling down and just, like, drag ass and, like, fuck over Fessy.
She might learn something from Devin.
I think that Anissa, in the history of the shows I've seen her in, develops just big crushes on people.
Yeah.
And I think that
She has Stockholm syndrome.
she hasn't given up hope on her, like, Fessy and me can go to the final crush. I think that she just proved herself, and now she's with a team with 2 golden skulls, so she might think that plays an advantage to her. But for me, it surprised me because he clearly just ditched you
It's revenge.
not even a week ago, because this shit happens like every 3 days. Like 3 days ago, he was just like, "Fuck you, bitch," and now she's like, "No, come back, babe," and he's like, "Ah, fuck, I guess, because I can't be with this girl anymore." So
Well, it's like he has a choice.
yeah, so he has no say anymore. I thought it was a bad play. Not for next week, Nikki. That's a good theory, though. I like that theory, but I thought it was a bad play just because he's just gonna ditch you again, and you had Leroy. Like, Leroy's a strong partner. Leroy's a good partner, and he has good alliances. So I didn't understand it that way. But Dane, you saw it coming.
I saw it coming. I saw her going back to Fessy. He's got Gold Skull. As much as people hate Fessy, I don't think people are going to go after him. Nobody wants to go against Fessy in an elimination. Absolutely not. Unless they have power to go against him and
Final OT.
Ah!
go Jets go.
Boo.
Fuck you, Calgary.
Boo.
You saw that, Nikki?
No.
Okay.
So I think it's good. I didn't even consider her even just doing it to sabotage him later on, which is even smarter if that's actually her long
Yeah, I
game.
don't think it is, but that's...
But I think she's just trying to attach herself to the strongest person. So that's good.
Fair enough. So that's a new team. So that means that Casey has the choice between going back to Leroy or going with Devin. Devin is public enemy number 1. She makes the easiest decision of her life and chooses Leroy again. I don't think we can say 2 words about that team. Did anyone not see her picking Leroy again?
Oh.
No.
No.
Absolutely.
It was happening.
It's like why? It's like pick the dad who's loved you his whole life, or pick the uncle who like used to do bad things to you when you were a kid.
But again,
those,
I think-
those are 2 options.
And I think this is what Devin wanted too. So.
Yeah. And so to end the show before we get the awards.
So Devin's a rogue agent, so he'll get paired up with whoever guy goes home next week, or it might be him.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
So he has like technically he doesn't have to compete next week. Is that how it
I
works?
think he
yeah,
does. I don't know.
I don't think
how
he
that
competes
works.
in the challenge because he can't.
So he's kind of
He
sits
can't
on the
do much.
sidelines with his fucking dick in his hand.
Yeah,
like,
just like CT the first week.
But he can still go up for elimination.
can he?
Can he though?
I don't see why not.
Well,
We'll
because he
find
didn't
out.
have a chance.
I don't know. I
to
guess we'll find out
compete.
next week.
'Cause he
Yeah,
didn't
you
have
guys
a
gotta
chance
tune in
to
next
I
week.
think he would.
I don't think he can, but yeah, we'll find out next week. I think Devin's safe for another week from all of this. I don't think he will want this in the end because I think he ends up with either Gabby or like Amber or who does Michi partnered with?
But again, he's just gonna then put
Michi's
that partner
Michi's
up.
party with Amber.
So yeah, so I think he's either with Amber or for me, I think he's either with Amber or Gabby next week. So that ends the show. So before we get into the next week's stuff and the in memoriam, let's go through the other two awards. We hit Lowell a little early, but let's go through the boss and the bitch. So, boss of the week. Previous winners are Anissa, Kyle, Devin, and Nelson have been our four bosses. Week 5. Dane, start us off. Your boss of the week.
I think we got to give it to Big T. I think this is her episode.
She needs
I think
it.
she was hilarious. I think she owned the social game, the scheming game. She won a challenge. She owned the party. It was a really good time.
I agree. Nikki, any other person?
Nope, I agree with Dan.
Big T? Eric?
Win.
Yeah, Big T acting like a queen bitch, even though she didn't do anything.
Yeah.
Still a boss.
I 100% agree. It's a clean sweep. We've had a lot of clean sweeps on the bosses. This was Big T's
Well,
episode.
Great minds think alike.
Big T, motherfucking boss of the week.
That's so good.
Big T.
I looked it up. It's something. It's like Tallulah or like.
Oh,
It's like something.
It's like a
Yeah.
rare flower.
Yeah.
So, Big T's our boss. So let's go into bitch because I think this one can be more debatable. I'm going to start off my argument because I don't know if anyone will be with me, but I've clearly hated someone this entire episode, and it is Amber M. I think Amber M is the bitch of the week. I think she was scared, and I think that the second she goes in, she'll be eliminated because she seems so scared, unless it's like a puzzle or being the lightest. I think that she tried to talk up twice and it didn't hit anywhere. I just think people's minds were made up. Like, I don't think any words she spoke influenced anything. So, like, when I hear someone speak so much who's not on the chopping block and it doesn't play, I just think she is the bitch of the week. Now I know there's going to be just some disagreements. That's why I went first. Dane, bitch of the week.
I can't really think of any. Like nobody really was a bitch. I think Amber M. She stood her ground. She at least tried to stand up for herself. She could have been silent. She could have said nothing at all, but she at least said something. So I'm gonna give her some credit there. So my bitch of the week. Let's give it to. See, if I give it to Natalie, that's too mean. Knowing that.
Yeah, no,
It's Natalie for being pregnant.
Yeah.
What a bitch.
But I know
Who
where
fucks
that
a little
goes.
condom?
You can go Josh again if you don't like what
Yeah,
you
so
said.
it was Josh again for inserting himself into that
Oh.
argument when he had no reason to. He maybe had a little reason to, but again, it's just shut the fuck up, Josh.
Okay, man. The things I would fucking say to that guy if I had him tied to a chair, man.
Eric, your bitch of the week.
Like I said earlier, mine was Amber M. I literally wrote down just because she was trying to be a bitch, but it was just cute.
Yeah,
So
like a pat on the head,
yeah,
like a 5-year-old when they're like, "I'll beat you up."
it's like a 5-year-old when they don't get their snack pack. They just
Yeah.
start throwing a little fit and they piss their pants.
I thought I was your snack back.
I agree. And Nikki, to end it off, bitch of the week. Who you got?
I don't agree with you or Eric.
You don't agree?
So mine is gonna be Josh as well, because I also thought
Ooh, we
he
got a tie.
We got a tie.
way along with you.
All right, so
Josh is a bitch,
with
but
ties-
Josh is always just the bitch of the week, anyways.
that's one thing. This was his least bitchy episode.
No,
So
but
with-
he still made his bitchiness.
Oh yeah, he was definitely still bitchy, but it
He
was
still made his
like
bitchiness
of the
presence.
bitchy episodes. This was his least bitchy episodes. So if we have to break ties, we'll ask everyone if they'll change their vote. Dane, will you flip your vote to end the tie?
Yeah, I flipped my vote to Corey for not being able to pull that rope.
Boom.
So Amber can win.
That ends a tie. Amber M is your bitch of the week.
But if put cute bitch.
Yeah, like, adorable.
Yeah, like not bitch, just like
Yeah.
fussy.
So
She was a fussy bitch.
So two people of the same faction. By the way, we're gonna call them. Just kidding. We'll move on.
Give him a name on the spot.
Yeah, I'll give us a name on the spot for that team. But Big T's your boss, Amber M's your bitch, and your law of the week is Big T's mean face. So those are the awards this week. So we'll get into the fantasy recap real fast because I feel like we've been talking a while. Like how we doing on the stream?
We're at an hour.
We're about normal.
Not bad.
So, for fantasy this week, all right.
Oh.
I quit. Go back to there. All right. You saw. No one look.
Sorry.
All right. So in last place, no surprise, we thought his team was fucked. Last week, Gabby Sweet Strange, Chris Stanchel at 254 points. His team is very much just in trouble. Unless I lost internet, that might be why it happened. But his team is very much in trouble. Coming in fourth place, because I can't pull this shit up right now. It's not
You just say the rankings, don't have to fucking get into it.
Yeah. Okay. Coming in fifth place.
I'm not looking.
Hey, where'd everyone finish last week? First, second, third,
Fourth.
fourth.
I think Brock was. I think it was like how you think it would go.
So coming in fifth place on a girls' challenge elimination week. Did she move? No. Nikki is in fifth place. She moves down. We just get disconnected from internet, so everyone hold tight on the stream for a sec. I'm gonna. Well, I can't memorize points or anything.
I was still first.
Yeah, I saw that.
Oh,
I wish I didn't see that, but I saw that.
Turn it off and turn it back on.
I
But
just
so
wanna
in
say
fifth place,
I just want to say this is a lovely candle.
give us a quick candle review while we reconnect.
1,000 wishes. I know I did this. This was one of my first candle reviews when we first started the spare bedroom. And you could tell it's like half gone,
My back.
but
Give us a quick
sometimes when you like put the candle out, the aromas like spread a little bit. Just a lovely scent. 1,000 wishes.
So I got it.
If I had 1,000 wishes, it would be that Maddie would come to my house and have sex with me.
So I got the internet back. Chris lost Wes and Nicole, and he's only got Michi, Gabby, and Darrell. No one's done anything. He's in last.
Now it's overbearing.
In fifth place, Nikki's Angels at 297 points, almost 50 points up on Chris's team, who's fucked. Nikki's top scorer is still Cam. Teresa we saw a little bit this week. That was nice.
Yeah.
And in the
you-
preview,
you
she's
don't-
going to get into some shit next week.
Amber
her
M.
and Lolo get into some shit.
Amber M. We saw this week for you, even though she's a bitch of the week. That's why we saw her.
Yeah, 'cause she's a
You
bitch.
should cheer for someone to be bitch of the week. They get points that week. And your last place score is still Nani, which is surprising to me. But they can't have sex this year. No Nani. All right.
They can, but we just can't see it.
Nikki, your thoughts on being in fifth place right now on a girls' week elimination week?
I mean, it's garbage. But it's straight up garbage. But the nice thing is I still have everyone on my team. So that's a plus.
Yeah, I guess
Yeah,
so, eh?
you're one of the few. You and Dane.
Yeah, so hopefully in the next coming weeks
Just
that will
fine.
come to my advantage
Actually,
and I'll start
Brock
seeing
has
some
me back.
W's in the house.
Oh yeah, you also some. Yeah, it might come in handy for you. So you're at 297, Chris at 254, and Nikki 297. In fourth place, no change in the top three. Fourth place, we got Brock. Brock had a big week though, up to 320 points, so he gets 23 points on Nikki here. Because he has Big T, who is up to 120. It was a big week for Big T. And then also, he gets Ashley Mitchell back. Ashley Mitchell comes back into the fold.
Huge. That's huge.
His
Big,
team returns to
big.
full strength. For the week, Big T was actually number 2 in points for everyone at 40 for the week. So, number 3, do we see any changes in the leaderboard? Still at number 3 is Eric at 396 points.
What's my team name again?
CT and the Jets.
Yes. Right. I don't know why I keep forgetting that.
CT and the Jets. His top scorer is Kyle at 125, followed with CT at 96. Big week
Kyle
for
had
CT.
one funny line this week, but I forget what it was. But I remember.
It was talking about how like CT is so strong that he could like pick up Big T, do some dumbbell presses with her, and then put her back and still win.
But he still has 4 people alive, and they're all strong competitors on strong teams. He's got Kyle, CT, Jay, and Leroy. So.
And Olivia left, and I didn't even
noticed.
check her bedroom. Like it was just like, oh, she's gone. Oh, okay.
No,
Well, I guess I don't have to make
She
I
only
don't
has-
have to make dinner for her for 5 now.
She only has the drama points.
Yeah.
Has there been a change in the top 2?
No.
Yeah, there has. Dane is now in second place.
Oh, what?
It's because Anissa won.
Dane is in second place. His top scorer is Fessy at 192, followed by Devin at 161. Casey's got 80. Lolo's got 57. Joseph, we don't miss you.
I hope Lolo knocks somebody the fuck out.
Yeah, I think
next week.
you're gonna have a big week next week, man.
And so the top scorers overall, Fessy is number 1 at 192. So Dane is 105 points above 105 points above Eric.
I was saying this to Eric too. Lolo's that type of girlfriend from Friends that fucking like punches you in the shoulder like super hard, and it's like, "Hey, that was really funny, bud," and you're just like, "Oh my god, like I think you fucking broke me."
Yeah. And if you get out of line, she'll like slap you.
Like, just, ooh.
Back in first place by 21 points, not for long, is this guy.
I know.
As much as I like to see myself in first, I'm fucking doomed now after this week, you guys. Is me, Anissa, second most points after 5 weeks out of everyone. Let's give her due. I've been
She's
saying
doing good
this.
season. She's been doing good.
155 competition
Fessy's
points.
carrying her.
100. Nah, he wasn't with her this week. 155 competition points, 175 total. She's less than 20 below Fessy in second. God bless Josh Martinez with his 85 drama points, leading the league in drama points. But
What a clod.
actually, sorry, I skipped. How you feel about your fantasy team being third?
Whatever.
Same.
I feel like I'm gonna bloom at some point. Like I'm late in the season. CT and Kyle are gonna start doing some funny shit. Olivia can fuck off. Jay, I'm expecting big things from.
Dark horse. I think he's a dark horse. And also second place, not for long. How do you feel about?
I think Casey and Lola are both going to be in the finals as girls. I think one of those two are
Lola's-
going to win it, especially now that Natalie's gone.
Lolo's gonna have a big
It's-
week next week.
It's
I saw.
basically
in the
those
previews.
two girls.
It's gonna be a doozy.
Fessy, I don't know if he's going to make it to the end, but he's going to fucking burn like a
points,
fucking
yeah.
comet entering the atmosphere. Like, he's going to get me points somewhere or another. So I got no fear. I'm only 20 points behind.
Yeah.
You lost somebody, I didn't.
And well, I lost 2. For me,
Oh, you had Tori too?
yeah,
Oh,
big
got the
fantasy
Oh,
league.
you're fucked,
I'm
eh?
fucked. For me, best case,
You and Chris are just like fucking.
best case
Partner
scenario
up.
for me. I lose Natalie on a pregnancy this week, and I lose Tori to my own person, Anissa. So I got some points at least for that. But I lose Tori, and I lost Nelson. So my first 3 picks out. My 4th and 5th rounds are the only things that remain. I am fucked, you guys. Unless Anissa wins this shit, or Josh makes a final, I'm fucked. Or my only hope, we just saw. Hold on. This is a theory. We just saw our first security breach. I think.
won't be another.
I think that the amount of slander and talk that was about Tori this week, I can see that being a real security breach in the future. If she comes back, great. But Natalie going out, kaputs. Fuck me. And I think it's bullshit, for the record, I didn't get any drama points for Natalie having to leave the show because of a personal situation.
She had a smile on her
Zero
face.
drama points.
She
That
was
should
happy
have.
about it.
Yep, Liv went out just because she hurt herself. And
There's
got
unfortunately no miscarriage points.
Should be 200. But I'm fucked. How do I feel about being in first? It was fun while it lasted. I'm in trouble now. I'll stay ahead of Nikki and Brock and ahead of Chris.
And I'm going to hell for that joke. So
Yeah.
Oh, the dark
But
one.
that's our fantasy recap. Kook's in first, not for long. Dane's in second. Eric's in third. Brock's in fourth. Nikki scraggling in at fifth. And
Not for long.
Chris Stanchel is
Gabby Sweet Strange.
Gabby Sweet Strange
He's
is in
first
bad
in my
shape.
books for the best name.
that's
anyways.
true.
Yeah.
You should get
He
5
did- he
points
had-
every week.
He had,
Yeah.
he had name of the year. But let's move on from fantasy to the second last segment of our show, In Memoriam. This is where we talk about the people.
Second last.
Well, we just do some quick predictions. This is where we
Alright.
talk about the people who have left us. We each have 30 seconds to address them correctly.
Cue the music, Dane.
Cue the music in the edit, Dane. I'm going to save myself on both of these because they were my fantasy people and no one really cared about them. Except the first one, Nikki, will go second last. So we'll start here. Natalie, 30 seconds on the clock. Talk to her.
Natalie, never really gave a shit about you. I saw you good things coming, but you know, I always knew you were pregnant. I just saw the glow in your. I just saw the glow. I always knew you were with child. I don't know what it was, so I just knew you. That's why I didn't pick you. So I just knew you were gonna not go very far.
I just knew you were going to lose this child.
That was for me.
Dane, you go ahead.
Natalie, I was a fan of you from Survivor. I'm glad to see you on a new show. I'm sorry you had to go, and I'm sorry things didn't
What
work
is? I'm
out.
sorry, your baby had to go.
We might have to cut the Natalie In Memoriam completely.
Oh, no.
Yeah. I got so many terrible jokes that
Yeah.
I'm just not gonna say.
No.
All right, Nikki, you're a true Natalie lover. You told me she was definitely gonna win before this challenge thing started. You were 100% Team Natalie. Part of the reason I picked her early, I got her right before you did, and I know you're gonna take her as the next pick. So, say goodbye to Natalie.
Natalie, you were dope. I loved you on Survivor. I had so much hope for you. And I'm sad to see you go, but I know we're going to see you either on next season or the season after that. And you're going to come back and you're going to dominate. Can't wait.
Usually when TJ says I'm positive I'll see you again, you're leaving on a good note, not on a fucking shit note. Because when he'll let you know if he doesn't want to see you ever again.
He didn't say that to Liv.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
That was like, we didn't even see Liv leave.
Yeah,
we
he's
didn't
like-
even see Liv leave.
They can
Liv's
go
gone.
get the belt.
See ya.
Liv, hello.
Yeah.
And finally, Natalie, to you. I wish I could have saw a little more of you. It's unfortunate the whole situation happened for you. Best wishes to you, but I know for a fact I will take you again in another fantasy draft. This was a fluke. You should have been running this final. You had Tori vibes. You had like all the strong chick vibes that like, and you had your gold skull. You were going to a final before this happened. So I'm kind of mad at you, but I'm not. Be better. We'll see you soon. Feel better. Good luck. All right. So we're moving on. Last but not least, we'll start with. I'll go this way this time. Tori goes home. Dane. R.I.P. to Tori.
Tori, I've always secretly had a crush on you, but I hated your boyfriend so much that it made that crush go away. So I'm glad you're single now, so I can crush on you again. You're beautiful. I love you.
Nikki.
Looks aside, yes, you're a great looking person, but all I gotta say is karma's a bitch. You can say all you want that it was physics and the balls and that's how you couldn't do it, but I just feel like what goes around comes around. So, see you next season or 5 more seasons after.
Nah, she'll be next season.
To interrupt really quickly, there was a great video on Reddit where it is like karma's a bitch, and it's Tori's first season ever, and she's like, you know, we as rookies, we got to take these vets out. Like, we can't let them just take over the game like that. And it's like, yeah, bitch, karma.
Eric Tatori.
I only have half drink these beers. Yeah, Tori. Like this episode, I was like, damn, Tori's actually hot. What the fuck is she doing with Jordan? Jordan is such a fucking chud. He's such a loser. I'm pretty sure he like, beats her with his like one hand, and when episodes aren't airing. Like, he's just like a dick to everybody. What are you doing with him? I'm glad you guys are separated. I'm glad you moved on. Hope Fessy fucked you. Bye.
Alright, and me finally again. Tori RIP to my fantasy team. You were my first round pick for a motherfucking reason. One thing I can say about these in memoriams is you can tell who the challenge rookies are on screen to the challenge rookies in the game. She's siding with literally the bitch of the week in this scenario. You talked real shit. Yeah, when you were a rookie, you had to have the same mentality, and I'm okay. I'm okay with rookies saying they gotta get vets. Amber M stepped like she could do something. If Amber M stepped to you in any challenge ever, you'd fucking bury her. You'd bury her under the prison. Like, it wouldn't even be a thing. Unfortunately for you, you faced Anissa, who's a beast on that strength thing, and you couldn't get that thing over. But we all know, in every challenge so far, you've been in the top 5. You are a beast. We will see you next year. That is a reoccurring theme. Thank you for leaving, Jordan, because I am with fucking the man over here where we can both crush on you equally. We'll each write you a Valentine's Day card. You're hot and you're strong and you fucking crush things, and I'm excited to see you back, and fingers crossed that you come back on some fucking secret thing. Alright? But RIP to Tori. That's our in memoriam.
It's a button nose. A girl with a button nose does it for me.
Oh, dude. And just broad shoulders, right? And finally, our last segment of the show. Next week, your fearless prediction. I keep forgetting to write these down. I don't know what anyone predicted. Did someone get their comeuppance? I'm not completely sure what
Fessy
happened.
did.
Like, maybe someone got their comeuppance. But if we had to make predictions for next week, let's start with... We'll go this way and you can finish it out, Dane. Nikki, prediction. Bold, fearless prediction for next week.
I predict someone on my team is going to win a mission.
Ooh.
Nikki predicted there was a girls' elimination last week, so she won the prediction.
Oh, yeah. But we all knew.
That was her limp
Yeah,
ass
that was our
prediction.
limp ass one, yeah. 3 dudes in a row.
I think I said somebody dies, and I didn't win.
Oh, yeah, the lead.
Well, technically, ooh.
Oh,
no!
Nikki!
Nikki!
Nikki, this is on the internet forever!
Yes!
That was dark.
Fucking
That-
nailed it!
Natalie is literally knocking on your door.
Oh.
This is public.
Fucking nailed it. Wow.
Get out of here.
Yeah, she has
All
experience.
right, we just gotta end the episode there. I mean,
Yeah.
predictions, though. My prediction next week is, I think there will be a girl altercation where a girl is held back by security.
Ooh, that's a good one, though. See, that's like attainable, realistic, but not a guarantee. I appreciate that one.
I think my prediction is Josh has a little bit of a freak out. I know it's crazy and it's out there, but I don't know. We'll see.
We'll see.
I know it's wacky.
Yeah, my prediction is, fuck it, I'm going to go with this. I remembered mine now, and I was wrong. Stick with it. A rookie's going home.
That
A
is what
rookie
you
is
said.
fucking going home.
That is what you said.
Because I'm assuming, but you can never assume in this game, but I'm assuming it's going to be a dude's elimination, and there's no fucking big T in the not gonna wins on the dude side. The dude side rookies don't have any sort of alliance. A rookie will go home. That is my prediction. And with that,
No, Nikki never did one, I don't think. I
Yes,
think we
she
cut
did.
her off.
no, she predicted.
What'd you predict?
That someone would die?
Yeah, she said one of her people would win the mission.
Oh, okay.
So she has like a 5, and you have a decent chance. That's like a 25% bet. You're okay there.
I wish it
That's
ended because I got
looking
pissed
at
so
you.
bad.
Yeah.
Go 100%. So that brings us to the end of another challenge recap show. That about does it. Before we go, real quick, plugs. got a plug?
Follow me at Crooked Cut on anything. I own that name. That is me. I am Crooked Cut. Hit up the spare bedroom. We're going to start next week. Expect a lot of good new things coming your way. thesparebedroomyoutube.com.
We had a real meeting. We got plans.
Yeah,
we
Actually,
wrote-
I'll do it now. There's a new store up. redbubble.com/people/sparebedroom.
Nice. That's
Go
up.
there. Yep.
People.
That's sick. Nikki, plugs.
All right, you have my regular Instagram, which is NikkiRay7, and soon to be Little Bits of Nix, which will be launching on February 1st. So get ready for that.
Hey, you didn't tell me that yet. Congrats on that going up. Eric, plugs. Not. But
Every once in a while, I post funny things on my Instagram stories. So Eric Likes Milk, at Eric Likes Milk, and yeah, follow the Spare Bedroom on YouTube. We'll be posting some funny shit soon. And add me on Snapchat. I'll send you pictures of my my boners
That's my favorite part of his Snapchat stories. And
and my farts, farts and boners. That's all you'll get.
no, you can only hear his farts on audio-only podcast formats. Spotify for the farts. Yeah, for me, at Kook Diggity is a personal, but I don't care about those so much. At the.spare.bedroom is our Instagram, youtube.com/thesparebedroom, twitch.tv/thesparebedroom. We're on Facebook too, but we're under, 50, so that's not a huge one for us. And also, my other podcast just released episode 2 today. We had the playing chess episode, The Boys Check Themselves, came out today, audio-only formats, the one new thing, Spotify, iTunes, everywhere else, and their Instagram is at One New Thing Podcast. So check that all out. That wraps it up. Tune in next week as we hope the challenge gets a little bit sexier.
Yeah, this
And
is a weak ass week.
Yeah, and
weak ass week.
And I hope one of these fucking rookies go home. Now get the fuck out of our room.
Bye.
Bye.
Holy fuck! I've had to piss for so long.
Safe. There we go. Keep that part.